Cheating issues in CS2 are more relevant than ever. The number of cheaters is steadily increasing every day, and Valve seems to have completely lost control of the game. It has become nearly impossible to play properly, with cheaters appearing in almost every other match, either on the opposing team or within one's own. This is happening against the backdrop of a rapid decline in the game's online presence since its release. Many players now only engage in a few matches per week just to open cases, while the other half primarily plays Faceit, where the presence of cheaters is considerably lower. Does this mean the game is dying? Before jumping to conclusions, let's dive into this situation. What's wrong, potential solutions, and what we as players can do about it. Let's also explore what actions we can take while cheaters continue to flood the game. So let's break it down. This video will be conversational, so grab yourself some tea and something tasty, get comfortable, and don't forget to hit the like button below the video. Personally, I like to be the person who stands on the side of the Valve, because the game officially launched just 2 months ago and it's far from perfect. Remember the early days of CSGO, it was considerably rougher. However, Valve still has a lot of work ahead, as we can see from the frequency of updates. Nevertheless, it doesn't necessarily excuse the developers, as it's not 2012 anymore, and they have many more resources at their disposal. However, what do we do now? Entering a competitive match, I, like many of you, no longer find enjoyment in the game. It's not about the sub-tick making it unplayable of the moment feeling off, or even the sounds being terrible. It's because almost every match is plugged by a full rage cheater. And it doesn't matter if you're rating a 5k or 20, whatever, when you're playing in Europe or America, it's happening everywhere. Avoiding there requires either immense luck or playing to the heavens. Over the last 2 months, the player count in Counter-Strike 2 has dropped by more than 25%, causing widespread concern that the game is dying. But is this really the case, or is just stabilization after the initial hype of the game's release? I believe the truth lies on both scenarios. If you look at the community's opinion, they can be divided into 3 camps. The first camp consists of those facing performance issues. The second camp is made up of those encountering cheaters. And the third camp comprises those dealing with both problems. Regarding the first camp, in my opinion, while performance issues significantly impact the gaming experience, we can see that Valve is actively working on it. Weekly updates are addressing the new sub-tick, which many players have questions about. They're also fixing bugs on maps and addressing issues like players getting stuck in each other. Additionally, there's a gradual optimization of the game, noticeably smoother than the laggy experience at the beginning. These changes, at least from what I've observed, demonstrate that Valve is addressing issues and engaging in active dialogue with the community, which is quite impressive. In the past, they seemed indifferent to community feedback. Therefore, it's likely that we can be patient and trust that these issues will be resolved. The frustration for an average player when dying from bugs in the game is vastly different from the experience of being killed by a cheater. It's genuinely disheartening when it's almost every other match, if not every match, you encounter a cheater. If you dive into the depth of the internet, you can see people posting videos and live streams of them playing with cheats, openly sharing new software. People talk openly about them without fearing a ban, mainly because the anti-cheat system is ineffective even against the most blatant cheats, let alone the sophisticated ones. It's been a lingering issue since the day of CSGO, with years of complaints going unanswered. Some even speculate the developers intentionally don't address it because cheaters dislike playing against each other, and buying Prime status for $15 is a deterrent. After each ban, cheaters create new accounts and purchase Prime, generating revenue for Steam. However, whether this is true remains unknown. And what do Valve themselves say about this? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. You won't find any explanations or acknowledgements in any of the developers' posts on social media or interviews. They remain silent on this issue. However, ignoring the problem won't solve it. What's on their minds and what they have planned remains a mystery. To avoid this problem, people have only 2 choices. The first one is quit the game, which is a rather radical approach. Or the second one, switch to other platforms like Faceit or ESEA, which is quite logical since their anti-cheat system works as intended. Whichever option player choose, it represents a significant setback for the developers. It underscores that Valve is not doing enough to ensure that regular players can simply log into the game and derive enjoyment without resorting to workarounds as it currently happening. The new ranking system in Premier mode may resemble those on Faceit or Dota 2, but what's the point if half of the top players in any region attain their rank through dishonest means? Until the in-game anti-cheat system is enhanced to fulfill the intended purpose, the leaderboard in CS2 won't truly reflect skill, and the Premier mode won't gain popularity. The release of CS2 was a long-awaited event. People anticipated significant changes, and rumors, along with the heightened expectations from the community, only added fuel to the fire. The game's early release led to a multitude of problems for the developers, with the need to address both old and new bugs, and the addition of a new content like skins, maps, operations, and weapons, although the latter hasn't been without its hitches. However, all of this becomes insignificant when they overlook the most critical aspect: anti-cheat. Valve seems to be overly focused on other issues. If this continues, the questions won't be whether CS2 is dying, it will become a fact. If you genuinely love this game, then there is only one choice left for all of us: to shout from all possible social media platforms to Valve that this cannot continue. Improving the anti-cheat system and preventing cheaters from bypassing blocks are imperative. Perhaps if the entire internet is filled with these pleas, we can reach Valve and finally they will take notice and start taking action. Thank you for watching this video till this moment. If you like this content, I'll do more about it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe because most of you watch our videos without subscription. See you in the next video. Bye bye!